If you would like a simple, straightforward process to identify where you are in your grief right now, then this episode is for you as we unpack our grief transformation model. Stick around.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Good Grief Couch. This is my wife, Kaylee. My name's Ryan. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome.
Hey, everyone. Welcome
And
back.
If you're back here for the second or third time, you're amazing.
Yep.
You might be here because last episode we started part 1 of our Good Grief Transformation Model.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be starting part 2. So what I would say is if you haven't heard part 1, pause the episode now.
Yep. Stop right there.
Don't want any spoilers
Nah.
on this one, and we don't want you going, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, how'd you get here?
Yeah, so we're going to be unpacking 6 different levels in this model. Today's going to be 3 and 4, but go back and listen to 1 and 2, and then come back here.
Yeah, you'll thank us for
And we'll
it.
see you soon.
Yeah.
After this, though, we're heading south from where we live, 40, 50 minutes to Byron Bay.
Yes, you may have heard of it.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth lives
Chris
there.
Hemsworth does live there. Films get filmed there.
So Thor lives there, so it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool spot.
Yeah.
And we're actually going down there to support our good friend Ross Abraham and his wife Kathy, who they tragically lost their son Jaden just over a year ago to an e-bike accident.
Yeah.
And Ross has been doing something kind of crazy over the last 30 days.
Kind of crazy, kind of cool. Yeah. So their journey, they've started a charity going and taking care bags into ICU units because that's where Jaden was.
It's called Beautiful Crazy. You may have heard us mention it before.
Yeah. Go check them out. Beautiful Crazy on Instagram, doing cool things. And so they've done a big charity, a charity fundraiser to raise money. And he has done a bike ride across the stretch of Australia, which is like an equivalent to LA to New York.
Yeah.
On a bicycle.
4,300 Ks.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles that is, but a lot.
Times it by 1.6.
Let's just say a lot. And it's not an e-bike, it's not a motorbike, it's just like your regular
road bike.
road bike.
Yep. And this is like dirt track
But not
stuff.
on roads.
Yeah, dirt track, red dirt.
So he's been literally busting his butt for 30 days.
And not staying in a hotel overnight, guys. He's like
Intense.
camping in between.
Yeah.
Just wherever they stop.
So we're going to be hopping in the car, heading down there. He's got a police escort coming into the town and going to be finishing at the marker where Jaden had his accident. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a big,
It's gonna be emotional.
big day. But
Yeah.
we're there to celebrate him and celebrate Jaden's life as well. And also the work that they're doing for families that find themselves in ICUs.
Yeah. Their goal was to raise a bag for each kilometre that he's ridden. So, yeah.
Totally.
It's awesome.
And if you'd like to contribute, we might even just pop a link below.
Yeah, totally.
And if
They would love that.
that's still, you can go connect with them.
Mm.
Cool. Well, shall we get into things?
Yeah, let's get into things.
We're going to be unpacking, as we mentioned, levels 3 and 4 in our Good Grief Transformation Model. A couple of weeks ago, we were on one of our live workshops walking through this model with women from all over the world.
Yeah.
And at the end of the call, we heard from Stephanie over in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
She's a professor.
Yeah.
And she couldn't speak highly enough about what we just worked through together. And so we want to let you hear what Stephanie had to say. So check this out.
I feel hopeful that there's some like practicable steps. I'm a professor, so I always give my students assignments, and so I thought you did such a great job walking us through some things. And so I was like, this is the first time I've been to some grief groups where people just share, which is there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm in a place where I want to move some of this through action, and I really appreciated what you put together in a workbook for someone like me who wants to take action. I think it's helpful. So thank you.
Wow.
What an honor.
Yeah.
This is someone who like teaches people for a living at a university. And Stephanie has been through losing a stepmom, dad, and more recently her brother. And so that's how, she found herself stepping forward and leaning into our workshop. And just such an honor to have someone with such a high caliber
Yeah.
lean in, but also take so much from a practical standpoint. And so if you'd like to join us on the same workshop or a similar workshop like Steph did, We'll pop the link below. It's completely free to register.
Yep.
Women from all over the world, over 5,000 women have registered for a workshop like this now, so you're not alone, and we'll take you through this model in greater depth with some other tools to help you cope better and sleep more soundly as well. So,
Yeah, super practical. People get so much out of it, so we'd love to have you there.
yeah. Okay, so let's just do a little recap
Yeah.
from, not to go through the whole level 1 and 2 again, but a little recap of where we started.
The red zone.
Yeah, in grief, when you first get thrown into loss, the first level that we experience is one called suffocating. So it's breathlessness. It's like, will I ever breathe again? It's like being taken underwater and held under. Now, as I recap, we're not going to unpack all of the emotions and feelings and all of the practical elements, but when we do move up a level from suffocating, we move and find ourselves into level 2, which is called surviving. It's at this level that we do want to build some basic routines into our life, which we talked about on the previous podcast and
Yep.
what that looks like. But to then move forward, by doing so, it will take us into level 3. And level 3 is called striving. And it's called striving because before grief and loss, we all did 1,000,001 things. Like our days were full. We hit the bed tired because we'd accomplished, we'd taken care of the kids, we'd cleaned the house, we'd done a full day's work,
Done the shopping, come back, do the meal prep,
all the
do
stuff.
the dishes. Yeah.
Right. And so when loss smacks us off our feet, all of that stops. And so when we start to find some sense of ourselves again or some level of normal, we go, this kind of feels good. I'm going to go and do all of the things again. So we go from 0 to 100 real quick, and it just leaves us feeling exhausted, right?
So exhausting. just thinking about all those things we just said.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exhausting when you're doing totally fine
yeah.
and you're not dealing with loss.
But energy is like minimal still.
So we need to protect our energy and be really aware of that.
Yeah.
So when we're at this level called striving, the key that we want to focus on here practically is actually setting simple goals again.
I like it.
And why is that important? And how do goals differ from routines, right? Routines are the things that set up structure in our daily life that we get through a week and a month and a year, all because of routines. We don't have to think about routines, okay? They're on autopilot. Goals, however, take a little bit more forward planning, forward thinking, and have a little bit more enjoyment in them than just routines.
Yeah, I think if you're listening and you have had hobbies that maybe have been pushed to the side or you just have not had the energy for, but now you're feeling, oh, hey, like maybe I could do a little bit more. So a simple goal could be you put in your calendar to text a friend the week before. Say you like hiking. You feel like you want to go on a hike again, get outside, get some fresh air. You really miss that. So maybe you put in your calendar to text a friend and ask them, hey, would you come on a hike with me next Saturday? I'd love to get outdoors, but can't feel like I can really do it by myself just yet. So you set that up and then you don't have to do it. Maybe you wake up and you don't feel maybe up to it, but at least you set that goal and you've prepped your friend and you're ready to do it when you feel able.
Yeah. The key is to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Because there's no point saying, all right, I'm going to go hiking, I'm going to hit the beach, I'm going to go to a theme park, I'm going to start arts and crafts again, I'm going to go to band practice, all of the things.
Yeah.
Let's just choose one. Let's keep it simple and let's lower the stakes for that goal where, like you said, you might wake up and go, it's not on today. It's not today. It's not happening. My mind is foggy. I can't stop crying, whatever the case might be. Now, I mean, there's so many things that we hear from women on our workshops that they love. Hiking is just one of them. Horse riding, going to the beach.
Cooking, photography.
Yeah.
Even crochet.
Sport. So many travel. So many different things. Going to the gym.
Going to the movies.
Yeah. And so we want to make sure that when we're thinking about where we are currently in our journey of grief, looking ahead to think, at some point in the future, doesn't have to be this week, might be next year, I do want to find myself enjoying some of those things that I once loved, or finding things that I don't even know that I love right now. My mum's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Since losing dad, she started volunteering at our wildlife sanctuary close to home. She's done that for 10 years now and loves it.
Yeah.
Has made friends, gets to be in nature, gets to play with animals like kangaroos, all sorts of things.
She loves it.
And then take family and friends through the park when they visit. And so that was something that didn't exist while dad was alive and now has existed for 10 years. And we've seen the fruit of what that brings in her life and ours, because we get to experience it too.
Yeah.
It's really
She never
special.
would have known that would bring so much joy to her.
Totally. One of the other things is travel. She's bought a camper. She's joined a community of women who love camping.
Yep.
And has traveled around Australia more times than I have.
Yeah.
And I was in a band touring, and that's another thing that didn't exist prior as well. So we want to either think forward in terms of the things that we once loved that you want to get back to, or discovering some new hobbies and things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's the key at level 3, striving. We want to set simple goals so that we don't end up exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay. When we're able to set those simple goals, we move from striving up a level to level 4, and this level is called stable.
Oh.
I feel my body just relax a bit even when I say it. The feeling we get when we are at the level stable is we feel relieved.
Don't you just feel relieved saying it?
Yeah. You can take a deep breath. At this level, you can let your shoulders drop. You can sink back into your chair. You can think a little bit more clearly here. And, everyone's seen a movie of a shipwreck or a space landing, or when they get back to Earth or onto the beach, on all fours, they kiss the ground because they're like, oh, thank God I'm back on solid ground again.
My 2 feet are stable.
Yeah, I'm no longer being pummeled in the ocean. I'm no longer lost in space. I'm back on Earth. So we feel relieved. And when we're at the stable level, the thing that we want to focus on here is actually celebrating small victories. And why is that important in our world? Well, it's a good question. It's important that we celebrate because all through life, it's enabled us to stop and look at the progress that we've made. Whether you've graduated college, you've gained a new job, you've been promoted in that, you've birthed children, you've won a sports tournament. All of these moments, you get to stop and people celebrate with you so that you can look back and go, wow, look how far I've actually come. And so it's important in our transformation through grief that we celebrate small victories. And it might be that you teed up a hike with a friend and you actually got out and did that, and you recognize, wow, look at the steps that it took to get here. Look at the accomplishment that I've made and how I feel now.
Yeah.
And that will keep us grounded and actually stabilize us more than we even know.
Yeah, totally.
So today we've talked about level 3 and 4. And as you're listening in, the questions that you may want to ask yourself are, where do I feel like I am right now? If you've gone back and listened to episode 1 or part 1 and you're not in the suffocating or surviving stage, and maybe you find yourself in striving or stable, the question you might want to ask yourself is, well, what's the practical step that I need to do here? Do I need to set a simple goal? Or maybe I've done 1, but maybe I can add another 2 goals to my list. Or do I need to celebrate those things? Maybe you've been ticking off some goals, but you haven't necessarily been celebrating and recognizing them. So find where you are right now, the feeling attached to it, and the practical element that accompanies that level.
So good.
Remember that there is no guilt or shame in moving down a level or 2 in this model, because it's not a linear path.
Yeah.
Grief.
Each day is different.
Grief's not black and white. There are 6 levels here, but they're not one directional. So as we know, grief comes in waves. And sometimes that means we move down from stable to striving again when we need to go, all right, I need to focus on some simple goals. Okay. This leaves us with 2 levels left in our model. And on the next episode, we're going to unpack those and show you the ultimate goal that we have for all of you who are on this journey with us, that we've seen my mum reach, your dad reach,
Yep.
all sorts of people in our world, and the hope and desire that we have for you to get there as well, and how to reach those levels too.
Amazing. So if you would love to join us to unpack this further on one of our live workshops, and we go through coping strategies to help with sleep and other things as well, you're very welcome to hit the link below and sign up to one of our workshops. It's live, it's free, and you'll be joining women all across the globe as well.
And even if you can't make it live, we will send you a
Replay.
because we know that grief messes with all sorts of time zones and thoughts and decisions.
And just like setting your simple goals, you might set a goal to be there and you wake up and for whatever reason it doesn't happen. So replay will be there for you.
We look forward to hanging out sometime soon.
Yeah.
And joining us for the next episode for part 3 of our Good Grief Transformation Model up next. Big love from both of us.
See ya.